Catholic Courses presents Proofs for the Existence of God, Arguments from Logic and Experience. Taught for you by Professor Laura Garcia. Lecture 1. Reason, the philosopher's only tool.
Welcome to Catholic Courses. I'm Dr. Laura Garcia, philosopher and scholar in residence at Boston College. I'll be your professor for this course, in which we're going to discuss proofs for the existence of God. This question, does God exist, is of course one of the biggest questions, one of the big questions of philosophy, one of the big questions of life, in fact. It would seem nothing is more important to know than whether or not there's a God. It has huge implications for morality, for our intellectual inquiries, for belief in the existence of a soul, life after death, possibility of miracles, the possibility that a claim to revelation is true. Once you accept the existence of God, everything changes, everything shifts. So it's obviously an important thing to know whether or not there's a God. The Catholic Church has always taught that it's possible to know that God exists on the basis of reason alone. Reason here we're going to use in a very broad sense. It's not just logic, but it also includes other things that we know, really what we come to philosophy with. Truths of common sense, our experience, our basic experience of the world around us, all of that is part of reason, what reason brings to the table in a way. Reason is the philosopher's only tool, I'm afraid. This is what we use to address the big questions. It might seem kind of feeble, but in a way, it's the only one we have. What else do we have to use except our own minds in trying to answer a question of this magnitude? You might say, well, there's other sources of knowledge as well, and maybe we should turn to one of those. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. I really liked it when Pope John Paul II, the late Pope John Paul II, talked about, I think in his work on the nature of human work, the importance of human work, talked about...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?